Yo, what is up? Today's video is about the M18 Hellcat, and we're going to talk about the setup right about now. As you can see, I have kind of potato crew 2.5 skills crew, not like the best of crews, but I'm going to tell you how to set up this tank for your grinding purposes. Now, I've got 42% camo rating on this Hellcat, and as you can tell, the Hellcat, one of its redeeming qualities is the camo value. So one of the most important things you need to train is your camouflage skills. Now I haven't even completed my camouflage skill on the commander, so I expect this to be about 42-43% camouflage skills when it's done. The rest you want gun handling skills and stuff like that. Pretty simple. Now as for equipment, you want a gun rammer because this increases your reload time. Decreases your reload time, makes it reload a little bit quicker, 7 seconds if you can have it, 7 seconds. I've got the binocular telescope and gun laying drive. Now binocular telescope is 500,000 credits, but you can transfer them to other tanks without penalty for free. You don't need to demount it with gold, so make sure you always have a set of binocular telescopes spare or handy that you can swap around. Now gun laying drive is a controversial one. Some people like it, some people don't like it. Now I have a potato crew with no BIA skills, so without BIA skills I prefer to run a gun laying drive. Now once there is a crew retraining skill, now that I have some gold, I will retrain these crew to have BIA skills, and once they have BIA skills, then I will swap out the gun laying drive to optics instead. So that way I have optics even when I'm on the move. I will still have view range capabilities. Right now view range is 511. That's with the binocular telescope. Without binocular telescope, of course, it's significantly worse. Alright, now as you can see, I have one that's untrained skill here, and the only reason why this remains untrained is because there is no skill here that is actually useful. Everything is a perk, and perks only activate when they are 100% trained, so there is no point for me to have any kind of skill, maybe firefighting skill if I wanted to for the time being, but I will retrain all this crew with BIA and then replace the gun laying drive to vents. Oh no, you can't have vents, sorry. I'm going to replace it with optics so that I have the extra view range. I also run the extra Coca-Cola that gives you an extra 10% to all crew skills, so it's really helpful in boosting your aim time and stuff like that. Let's get to some gameplay. Alright, let's get to it. We are in Sand River, of course, in the Hellcat. Now the Hellcat has 72 kilometers an hour top speed, which means it is great for shifting around, going places, changing flanks, but the agility is absolutely terrible. So if you need to wiggle and shit like that, it's kind of terrible. And also the reverse is 12 kilometers an hour going in reverse, so it's really bad going in reverse. If you think you can shoot in a bush and then reverse to safety, think twice. You need to be very careful what you do there. Now I'm approaching this position here that is really a normal position that TDs go to. Now you look, I put myself in the first person mode, and I just put my gun just above the ground here, as you can see, so that I only expose very little of my turret in case I get spotted. Now that's one of the things, one of the tricks you need to realize about this tank, because in this position where I am, sometimes you get YOLO'd by light tanks that can outspot you before you spot them, and in this very vulnerable position where you are sitting high up on the ground, you will get eliminated like almost instantly. You will vaporize. So you need to realize that when you are in this position. Now as you can see, I'm kind of sitting low down. Now you don't see me moving my turret when I'm traversing my tank, when I'm traversing my gun. Now that's because I have camo values that I need to look after. If I traverse my hull of the tank, if I turn the tank a little bit, my camo values will drop. Right now I'm holding 42-43% camo values, so I need to stay stationary. This is a TD, so your camo values drop if you move your hull. So you need to make sure that your hull, you are stationary, and then your camo values are 100%, which is 42% right now. Now I'm moving forward because those enemies are outside my render range. I want them to be inside my render range, but as I move forward, I could see that they are in cover, so there's no point of me being there. I retreat back to the safe position. Now, where I am, you can hear that binocular telescope going up. That is 511 meters of view range that I'm having with binocular telescope. Now once I retrain my crew, I'm going to be running binocular telescope and optics as well, so that I have optics, so that I have the extended view range even when I'm on the move, you know. I don't need to wait, I don't need to be stationary. Of course, you don't get a greater distance with optics. In fact, you get less view range distance with your optics, but it's on all the time. Now with binocular telescope, once you're stationary for 2 seconds, it turns on. Then you have like 25%, 20 or 25% extra view range, which is amazing. Now look at these guys. I'm actually spotting them, so I'm getting all this residual damage, the spotting damage. Now, in case I get spotted in this position where I'm very vulnerable, sitting high up top, if I do get spotted, it's better for me to go forward than it is to go in reverse. If I reverse, I will continue to get shot and probably die instantly. So if I do get spotted in this position, I'm probably going to drive forward, turn right and go down and make a kind of like a circle U-turn and then run away. Instead of reversing into safety, it's better for me to go forward, and that's because this tank has a really good forward speed, which is 72 kilometers an hour. So you need to remember that in certain situations, like in this one. If I do get YOLO spotted by an enemy light tank, I am probably going forward, turn right, go down, and make a U-turn, turn around, and run away. That would be my best. That would be my best play if I did get spotted. Now I'm not getting any action here. I need to figure out a way to either flex around, go somewhere else, find some damage. I'm almost alone here, except for that guy to my right. There isn't a lot of people here to support me. So if I get rushed by 2-3 tanks, I could be in real danger. So I'm thinking about what I need to do to improve my position here. How can I get some damage out of this game? Now you can see T-34-85 rushing forward. This tank is really dangerous for me. Once he spots me, I'm gonna get peppered with damage. I'm gonna get shot at, so I need to get my distance right now. As you can see, I've already been spotted right now, so I need to run away just as well. I've already turned my tank around and anticipated that I would get spotted, so I'm running away. I'm expecting an artillery shell to hit me anytime now, and there it is. I was expecting that. That is why I was kind of like left or right a little bit, but that position for me was no longer tenable, because a tank like a T-34-85 is difficult to shoot at if he is mobile, if he's moving. If he was stationary and sniping, it is possible that I could finish him off. I could shoot him, possibly eliminate him. But if he is rushing forward, getting into a safe position, and then poking out on that ridge to spot me and then ducking back into safety again, that is a really difficult situation for me to excel in that position. So I needed to make a play, change the style, find a different position, find a different location. I completely flexed to the other side of the map using my 72 kilometers an hour speed, and that is exactly what I did. Now the Hellcat, it does 240 damage. Really good damage for a tier 6 tank. 240 damage, 160 penetration on the standard AP shells, which I think I'm about to run out of, and I'm going to switch to APCR. 243 penetration. If I'm in lower tier, by default I'm going to shoot APCR shells. Not that the AP shells are not good enough to penetrate, but if you want to maximize your damage output, you're going to have to carry a little bit of APCR and be ready to spend some gold for your damage output. You know what I mean? You can't be cheap when you're playing, when you're in lower tier, when you're in bottom tier. You need to be firing gold shells sometimes. Reload time, I've got this at 7.02 seconds reload. Now if I have that BIA crew, it's going to improve it to about 6.5 seconds, which is going to be really great. 1.428 seconds of aim time. It's kind of it's kind of slow in that aim time, but that's okay considering that the reload time is only 7.2 seconds. The only time the aim time lets you down is when you traverse your turret and you're trying to shoot someone quickly. You know, when someone lights up on your right or on your left and you need to traverse your tank, traverse your turret and aim at him, that's when it kind of lets you down. That's because the dispersion is 0.32 and 0.33 when it's moving, 0.33 when you're traversing the when you're traversing the hull. When you're traversing the turret, it's not too bad, 0.17. So if you're just turning the turret and looking around, it's not too bad. But the turret traverse itself is really slow, which kind of makes it, you know, kind of meh. If you see when you turn your turret and then you wasted a little bit of time there, I could have got an extra 2 shots, 3 shots more if I had a little bit more, if I had a better dispersion in my turret movement. Now I got spotted there. I need to leave immediately. Now that's because when you have artillery in the game, you need to be mindful that they're going to be aiming at you all the time because you're the easiest tank to kill. If you don't move when you are spotted, you are basically asking for trouble, because this tank is an RT magnet, not because you're Unicum or not because, you know, they've got XVM focus or whatever, but you're an easy tank to kill. You have an open top. If they land artillery shells on top of your turret, they're basically going to do 100% damage or a high percentage of damage. Now shell velocity on the AP shells, 853 meters per second. Another one of the reasons why you want to fire APCR shells whenever you can, because shell velocity is 1066 when you use APCR shells. Now once again, the strength of this tank is the camouflage. Use that camouflage well. Find a place where you can have a reasonable amount of time to be stationary, you know, a position where you can stay stationary for the majority of the time, because that's when your camo value is going to be 42% and almost undetectable unless you are firing or unless you are not hiding yourself properly inside the bush. Now we are down by 1 tank. This isn't a good situation for us, but I need to start making the plays. This guy doesn't have a big gun, so I have a chance here to defeat him. But it's going to require a little bit of skill, and I stuffed that second shot there, which means I took a free hit there for nothing. I absorbed one, which I thought was really lucky, but now he's kind of hull down. He's approaching. He's doing the right thing by rushing me here, but I had a little bit of a pixel shot there, which I took advantage of, and now I'm going to reload in time before he can get near to me. I'm going to steal a shot here, and he stuffed his shot and I managed to pen him. Now all I need to do is just try and use my skill and experience here, force him to traverse his turret to chase me around that corner, which he didn't have enough time to do, and I managed to reload and kill him just in time. Now I'm going to try and shoot this guy, but I didn't. I was hoping to pull the trigger before he could get me, but he did manage to land a shot on me, and this is kind of a bit of a lucky shot there, because I was moving and the dispersion wasn't actually good enough for me to hit that GW, but it happens. Sometimes you get that kind of lucky shot. Sometimes it works in your favor, sometimes it doesn't. Majority of the time it doesn't. Let me tell you that for a fact. So this Hellcat is a precursor to the Scorpion. If you do well in the Hellcat, you are going to do well in the Scorpion. The only difference between the Scorpion and the Hellcat is, of course, the Scorpion does a lot more damage. It is a tier 8 tank. And also the other difference between the Hellcat and the Scorpion G is the Scorpion G has no camo value whatsoever. So, but basically this is like, you play this Hellcat like a baby Scorpion. Now a lot of you have the Scorpion G before even you have the Hellcat, because you can actually buy the Scorpion G and play it and earn credits with it. But the Hellcat is similar to the Scorpion G in terms of playstyle, except it does not have the camo values. So I hope you had a little bit of insight into this tank, and hope you have fun playing it as much as I do and as much as I will. Thanks for watching this video. If you made it to the end of this video, please give me a like and give me a follow. I appreciate your support, and thanks very much for staying to the end of this video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.